Hey everybody, welcome back. We're doing a couple videos on really the idea that parenting and teaching have a lot of similarities. And so we want to talk about one that we've done both in parenting and in teaching. This is the idea of choices. And again, I want to give credit to where credit is due. We first learned about the concept of choices through Danny Silk's teaching, but also through Love and Logic. They have similar ideas. And so I'll explain kind of the idea of what choices are about. It's this tool in a toolbox of parenting or teaching. Here's the thing. As adults, we love the idea of autonomy and of the ability to be independent in our choice. All right. So as adults, for example, I want to know that I can drive where I want to. I can eat the food, generally what I want to eat, right? We like the idea of making choices about what we can do for work, what we can do for school. We like the idea of not being forced to do anything. That's a debate in politics about
don't go there.
what you should choose or not choose, etc. No one wants to be forced to do what someone else wants for them. We want our own choices, and we believe that's a fundamental truth that Jesus has given us. Like I shared in the previous video, whom the Son sets free is free indeed, right? Jesus talks about freedom. Paul talks about everything is permissible, not everything's beneficial. So there's this idea, even in the Bible, that I believe is very, very godly, of giving freedom. So if adults like this, all the more do, kids love us just the same or even more so. We are endeavoring to train our kids to be adults, right? We want our kids to, there's a phrase a friend of mine uses, make good choices. Have you heard that phrase before? Mm-hmm. We are endeavoring to try to train our kids how to make good choices so they can make choices on their own and grow independent. And so, there's a squirrel next. I'm distracted squirrel. Anyway, so here's the tool of choices are these things. I'll give you a couple of parameters for you if you've never heard this before. It's wild and I love it. So
best tool ever.
Best tool ever. Here's the thing with choices when we're talking about parenting and with teaching, is that we start implementing choices when things are going well. So choices should be something that you practice before there's a crisis. All right, it's not a tool to use in a crisis. It's a tool to use while things are having fun. You're having fun with your kids.
With everything. Everything you're doing.
We as parents started this when our kids were little, and it really helps moving forward. And so as a teacher, you may be at a disadvantage because you're coming in with kids that maybe aren't used to the idea of choices, never heard this before, but it does work even in that situation too. Next thing, so the first parameter would be that you're doing choices even when things are going well. It's not just a tool to use when there's a crisis, all right? First choice, or first parameter rather. Second parameter is this, that when you're offering choices that you're happy with, either of the choice. And I would say too, that you're only giving two choices, right?
Only two.
So the other idea of choice is that choice can be overwhelming. I was just thinking about this, reflecting as we were talking about choice, is like you can go into a store, there's literally like 100 different cereal options at the supermarket. Mm-hmm. And it's overwhelming. You're like, I don't even know what cereal I want. So talk about dinner choices. There's just endless of recipes online. Too many choices can be can lead to decision paralysis where you're like, I have no idea. We don't want to do that for our kids. We're just making it simple. Two choices. And as parents or teachers, they're both choices that we would want the child to choose. And we're happy either way. So let's give some parenting examples. Maybe do you want to start with the parenting examples?
Sure. With toddlers, big one is shoes. There's always a battle. So do you want to put your shoes on or do you want me to put your shoes on? Or you could say, do you want to put your shoes on now or do you want to put your shoes on in the car? Those are two choices that you're most likely comfortable with. Do you want the blue cup or the red cup? Do you want the white socks or the brown socks? You're just always giving a choice with everything, every decision that's being made. And for older kids, obviously it's your choices are different, but different examples for that. Do you want to turn the TV off or do you want me to turn the TV off?
Yeah.
We've done that with our kids.
We pick YouTube videos. Do you
Or,
want to
you know,
watch you want to watch this YouTube video or this one? Do you want your snack before the video or the snack after the video?
Yeah.
We're okay with either of those choices. We're
Yeah.
just giving them a choice. What about some student or classroom setting choices?
So, some things that I've used in preschool specifically, we sometimes struggle to sit on the floor or even to sit in general, or in a chair. So I would give a choice. Usually I'm okay with them either sitting on a mat, we have mats, or on a chair. So I will allow them to choose. Do you want to sit on a chair or do you want to sit on a mat? Either way, I want them to sit. That's my goal. I don't want them to stand or run around.
Yeah.
So I'm giving those two choices. The other choices are you can have a snack now, or you can have a snack later, depending on the situation. We can do craft now, or we can do snack now. So sometimes I'll do that if I don't have a preference. So those are just some things that I've used.
Yeah, so those are good. And I guess we should jump into the question probably everybody has right now as we're presenting these things. What happens if a child doesn't choose? So if we talk through an example, should we act it out? That'd be fun.
Yeah, let's talk about it first.
Sure, okay.
So if they don't choose,
Yeah.
the next statement that you as a parent or teacher would follow up with, and I wouldn't wait long. Don't count to 5. Do 2 seconds in your brain. The next thing you should say is, you choose or I choose.
Yeah.
Again, you're giving another choice. Let it sit for a minute, not a minute, first few seconds. And if they don't choose, then you choose. You need to move forward and make a choice. And I usually say, okay, I choose this. I choose the chair. And you have them then go and sit on the chair.
Yeah.
Probably the first few times, if you're starting to introduce this to your child or to a child in class, if this is new to them, you might still get some resistance then. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what to do then, because there are some more tools in your tool belt that will give you to walk through that.
Yeah.
But for right now, we're keeping it simple to help you just start the idea of the choices first.
Yeah.
And to get that in your practice belt for the next couple of weeks until we give you more, because it's hard to get into the habit of.
Yeah.
You have to consciously think about it, because again, you're doing it all day long with your kids and with everything that you're doing. You want to make sure you're doing those choices.
I was gonna say that's a great stopping point, even a great review. Like when my boys were little, we're talking under age 3, they're just starting to talk. Just two or three, when they're talking and they're able to articulate their needs somewhat. We're doing that all day. So I was at the time I was a stay-at-home dad. I was doing choices even before breakfast. They were already 5 or 6 choices. Do you want oatmeal or eggs? Do you want the red pants or the blue pants? Do you want the green shirt or the striped shirt? Do you want to put Hannah said this too, do you want to put your shoes on now or in the car? Do you want to be carried or do you want to walk? All those things, tons of choices. Does it seem overwhelming? Sure, but I say it's a worthy investment. We started doing this, both Hannah and I talked and we agreed to try this together, and it really was a period of more intense investment where we had to think about it, and as it became more natural to us, it became easier. So we just automatically, our boys almost expected choices then too,
right?
And it help guide them, so again, we're not giving choices that we didn't already want. I had no preference whether one of my boys wore a blue shirt or a green shirt, as long as they wore a shirt, right?
Right.
So of course we're trying to match things. Of course we're trying to have them wear appropriate clothes. Like if it was a Sunday morning and I want them to dress up, I would give 2 dressy shirts as an option.
Right.
So those kind of parameters too are important to think about. But just the idea of giving choices to our kids, and just to whether they're you're parenting a child, whether you are doing this with a student, someone in your classroom setting, choices are a very powerful tool. And like I said at the beginning, the most important thing is to start doing this when it's still fun.
Yeah.
Do this at the very beginning. even as a part of a game to do, and kids will get right away, and it's exciting.
Eventually, they'll be giving you choices.
Yeah. That is a side effect that has been fun, but will lead us into the next video, which talks about what do you do with choices as well. But hey, choices actually work with adults too, believe it or not. I'll share an embarrassing story. I was we were in Arizona. I missed a speed limit sign. I was pulled over in Arizona. How embarrassing! But the police officer, as he wrote me the ticket, he still gave me the choice at the end, and no, it wasn't jail or pay the ticket. It was, do you want to pay the ticket online, or do you want to do they had a classroom, a classroom to learn how to drive responsibly. So yeah, you can laugh at me. I think I've shared this before. It was embarrassing, but you know what? It took the sting away, actually, believe it or not, from the ticket, because I felt empowered again. Mm-hmm. So even though I still had to pay the ticket, I still had to do the consequence. I had a choice how I wanted to pay the consequence. Right. I could pay it via the classroom learning or pay actually the ticket. Right. And so this is just an idea too. It actually helps empower our kids.
Yes.
And helps them to learn how to make choices, which is what we want. Back to that thing I said at the beginning. We want our kids to make good choices. Let's give them choices so they can practice.
And this, toddlers, even as young as like Todd said too, I mean, when they start walking pretty much, they understand a
Start
lot.
them young,
even though they may not be talking, they understand a lot. And you can call your kids higher.
Yeah.
And that's something we've always been, working on with our boys is, every child at every developmental stage, they have their limits, but we want to try to call them higher even within that limitation and expect more out of them.
Yeah.
Of course, within reason, but we find that this gives them the autonomy, which is what they want. They want to be in control, just like any of us. I want to be in control.
Yeah.
So this gives them that feeling of control.
Yeah.
And then within the boundaries, like you're setting as a parent. But to recap and end this session, always give choice with everything. Mm-hmm. Always give 2 good choices that you would want them to choose.
Yeah.
And if they don't choose, wait a few seconds, make the choice for them by saying, you choose or I choose. Mm-hmm. You choose the decision, and then move forward. Again, we'll help you through the next step with some more tips and tricks next video.
Awesome. Thanks for watching, guys.